This is part 3 and the final part of your lecture for IST254 Chapter 2. And as I was talking about before, drivers can be updated and rolled back, removed, or disabled depending on how your application needs and your hardware needs come about. You can use your device manager and find the device and right click on it and do one of these, either update, rollback, remove, or disable your device. Now, some of the things that you need to think about too is that there may be times that you need to upgrade your device drivers, but you may find that you need to ask yourself a few questions before you do. Is the updated driver to use to fix some sort of a security problem? Are you having stability or performance problems with the current driver? Or do support contracts depend on you keeping your driver up to date? So these are some of the questions that you're going to have to determine before you just update the driver for the sake of just updating a driver. So you need to remember that sometimes after upgrading your driver, your system could experience problems, and if so, that you remember that you do have the ability to roll back your driver. Also, you want to use drivers that are signed, either from the original manufacturer or from Microsoft. All Microsoft products are going to have a digitally signed, are going to be digitally signed, and by default your operating systems will not allow you to install unsigned drivers. They may be signed from the vendor. If so, and Microsoft is distributing this driver, Microsoft will verify that the driver has not been altered since it was signed. Okay, let's talk about IRQs. IRQs are interrupts that your hardware uses to notify the CPU itself that it needs some time. When servers years ago, when you installed an item, you had to actually go into the IRQs and assign an IRQ to the device. Nowadays, the IRQs are assigned automatically, and because we have plug and play. But the IRQs also have an associated input-output address with them, and this is where the resource actually resides on the drive itself. You're going to be able to view the I/O addresses in the device manager itself, and that's part of your first lab that you have to do. So since plug and play has come along, you will not have to configure IRQs, but you still need to be aware of the fact that they are still out there and still available, but we don't usually have to work with them to work with device conflicts anymore. Okay, that's the end of Chapter 2. You can go to your Dropbox and D2L for instructions on your next lab. The first lab you did is more about the Chapter 2. In fact, if you look at the labs, it'll say Lab 1, Chapter 2. So when you start working on the lab for this one, you're actually going to be working on skill sets from Chapter 3. Okay, that's the end of this one. No abrupt end this time. Thank you very much.